Of the Livonia City Council. Today is June 27th. Tonight's meeting is a study meeting. At this time, the council will study all the items on the agenda and make certain motions in regards to how to proceed on them. That could include an approving, a denying, or a referring to a committee of the whole. Those motions would not be voted on tonight, though, but they'd rather be voted on at the next regular meeting of the Livonia City Council. At this time here tonight, we have 4 members of the council. We have Mr. McCullough, Ms. McIntyre, Mr. Donovic, and myself, Jim Jolly. We are missing 3 of our colleagues, 2 of them due to an abundance of precaution in regards to COVID, and another who is leading a youth group mission out of state and is unable to be here tonight. So at this time, we will open up the meeting and go directly to audience communication. The audience has an opportunity to, oh, I'm sorry. Before I go too far down here, we're going to have the Pledge of Allegiance offered by Mr. McCullough. Excuse me, sorry about that. Oh, I'm sorry. We also have some special guests here tonight. That's what threw me off, I think. We have some very special guests. We have Madeline and Allison Collinash, who are going to help us with the Pledge of Allegiance. So girls, if you'd like to come up here right in front of the meeting.
Mom can come up. Okay, you can come up too.
Mom, you can come on up.
Come up if that helps. All right.
Come on up.
You have to stay with them, though.
If you want to move up just a little bit more, the camera up here will get a nice picture of you for the TV and the YouTube audience.
And maybe first just turn around so we can introduce them.
Oh, sure.
So the camera can see you. Oh, there we go, the camera had you.
Yeah, the camera's up here.
Yep, the camera's ahead of us, okay.
There you go. All right, girls, we're ready when you are.
All right, I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Nice job. Thank you.
Wonderful job.
Good job, girls.
And Mom.
And Mom. I apologize for my own fumbling of the start there. So at this time, we will go to audience communication. If anybody from the audience would like to address the council on any item that is not on the agenda this evening, you have an opportunity to do so. You can address the council for 3 minutes, and we have set aside the first 30 minutes of the council meeting for that purpose. So if anybody at this time would like to address the council, please come to the podium and give me an indication that you're making your way up there. There appears to be nobody approaching the podium, so we will go to comments from the council.
Mr. President,
Mr. Donovic.
just briefly, just great job to our guests tonight giving the Pledge of Allegiance. It's awesome to see 2 young Americans paying their respects to our flag. Great job, ladies.
Thank you very much. If there's nothing else from the council, we'll move on to item number 1. That is a block party request from Ronald Bazzi to be held on Saturday, August 13, 2022, from 1 p.m. until 11 p.m. on Curtis Road, from Lathers Road east until it dead ends.
Yes, this is probably the 6th one we've had. Obviously, we haven't had it for a few years.
What's your name, sir?
My name is Ronald Buzzy.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. We haven't had this for quite a few years just because of the COVID and other things. So this is kind of like our last one we're going to have. So it's a fun thing. We have a couple bands. We have food, karaoke, and it's my way. I play a lot of bars and festivals. And a lot of our fans, like kids and grandparents and stuff that can't make it to some of the gigs we do this to thank them and let them come and share a family day with us. So it's a pretty fun time. You guys have let us do it a few times, so.
Sounds good. Any motions from the council at all?
I'd be happy to offer an approving on consent if there are no objections.
Okay, thank you very much. What that means is being offered on consent is you don't have to come back. We'll vote on it along with some other items potentially as a single item later on at the next regular meeting, okay?
Okay, thanks a lot.
But you should be all set. Make sure to invite the neighbors, I guess, right?
Oh, we always do.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Oh, is there any audience communication on that? There appears to be none. Item number 2 is a block party from Ray Franges, Jim Rumrill, Mark Miller, and Ari Wilson to be held on Saturday, August 27, 2022, from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. on Brentwood Street between Meadowlark Street and Jacqueline Drive, with rain dates of Sunday, August 28, 2022. Your name, sir?
My name is Ray Frangis. We've been doing this for 19 years now. We have one concern. There's the highway departments come through and put a lot of flags up, posts up, spotted paint, and we were just concerned if that would conflict with our party in any way, if there's any information on that.
So we wouldn't have that information for you, but the city engineer could possibly provide that to you if you contact the city engineer.
All right.
Okay, he is here. You moved, didn't you? Yes. Sorry, you were there, and Mr. Zelinsek, do you have any information in regards to that?
Yes, I would, there was an attempt to maybe go on Brentwood early, but we're gonna pull back, whatever. But we would most likely do it after your block party, probably in September. We're migrating north into the west, and it'll be a while till we get up to Brentwood itself. But feel free to call the engineering department at 734-466-2571. It's on the website for under street repairs, and we'll be happy to update you.
Excellent.
But we're hoping, again, you have a successful block party, and hopefully after that, we'll get you a nice new street constructed up there.
If we don't, it'll be our own fault. Thank you very much.
You're not done just yet. Do we have a motion from the council?
So moved.
So you have an approving, is that for consent?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'd like to offer an approving resolution for consent.
Thank you. No objection from the council. Any audience communication? There is none, so you're all set. You have an approving for consent.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Good luck. Item number 3 is also a block party from Megan White to be held on Saturday, August 27, 2022, from 11 a.m. until dark at the corner of Dover Street and Deborah Court East to 8929 Deborah Court East. Your name, ma'am?
Megan White. How are
Okay.
you? This is our first year. We have never done a block party, but we have quite a few new neighbors with lots of new kids, so we decided we would try to put one together. All of the neighbors, all of the neighbors whose areas are gonna be blocked by the barricades are all in agreement, and then we're gonna pass out a flyer to the rest of the neighborhood to invite them. We're gonna have a couple bounce houses for the kids and barbecue, some games, maybe some music, just a fun time.
Sounds like fun. I'd be worried about random council members showing up. Possibly,
Mr. President.
Mr. Donovan.
I may or may not be one of those random council members showing up. Great idea. It's awesome to hear that this is your first time doing it, and hopefully you can be like some of the former petitioners. They've been doing it for many years. I do have one question. It says 11 a.m. until dark. However, on the sheet, it does mention that it has to be no later than 10 p.m.
Okay.
Is there a specific time that you intend for this to end?
10 is fine, yeah. I mean, we all have little kids, so it'd probably be before that, but
Well, this is a great idea, and I will say there's a certain council member here that likes to talk about a certain $500 grant you can apply for the neighborhood. So I think that council member is sitting here somewhere in the middle, and he's probably going to want to talk about it at some point. So it's a great initiative for the residents, but I'd like to offer an approving on consent if there's no objection from my colleagues.
So we have a small grant available to provide some funds to pay for things like the bounce houses and stuff like that.
Oh.
You may have missed the deadline for this year.
Okay.
But make sure to look at it if you do it in subsequent years.
Okay, I will do
Okay.
so, yeah, I did
Thank
not
you,
know
ma'am.
that. Thank you.
So we have a motion, is that for consent?
Yes, Mr. President.
Okay, any comments from the council? Any comments from the audience on item number 3? There appears to be none. We'll set that for 10 o'clock,
Okay,
not dark. It's just a little bit cleaner that way
Okay,
for
that's fine.
yourself. And you're all set.
okay.
It'll be on consent. You don't have to do anything further. Thank
Okay,
you.
now-
Good luck.
Because like I said, I've never done this before. Do I have to get something, like an email or something from you guys, like for the
No, so
barricades, or how does
you'll
this?
receive, after it's formally voted on, you'll receive a notice from the clerk's office. Is that right, Ms. Nash? In the mail, showing that it's been approved by the council.
Okay,
That'll probably be in maybe like 3 weeks or so.
okay, perfect, thank you.
Okay, take care. Okay, item number 4 is also a block party from Maggie McGrain to be held on Saturday, August 27th. This is quite the day, right? You know, everybody's having parties. From 1 p.m. until 10 p.m. on Rayburn Street between Levan and Williams.
She's walking around. She exited, okay. I thought that was her.
Is Maggie McGrain here? She is not. Do we have any motions from the council at this time? Does anybody want to make a motion to put on regular, give her an opportunity to come?
I will make a motion to put this on regular, and we'll ask, if you would, Jim, ask Sarah to please make sure that she knows she needs to be here for the next meeting.
Sounds good. Any other comments from the audience in regards to item number 4? There appear to be none. Item number 5 is also a block party from Petrese Newkirk to be held on Saturday, August 6th, from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. on Marie Street and Court between Nolson and Minton, with a rain date of Saturday, August 13, 2022. Good evening, ma'am. Your name, please?
Good evening. My name is Carly Turner. I'm here on behalf of Petrese Newkirk.
Okay. What are you going to do at this block party?
So at the block party, this will be our 7th year doing it. We obviously took the past couple years off because of COVID, but we have a young kids bike parade. Bicycles, I want to be clear, not motorcycles. We do a couple bounce houses, barbecue, music, and we have a bunch of new neighbors, actually including myself, that are in the neighborhood. So we're excited to get this going again.
Sounds good. You heard what we said about the small grant, the neighborhood grant program?
Yes, I did.
So make sure to look into that for future years. Any motions from the council? Mr. McCullough?
I would be happy to offer an approving for consent. I'm loving seeing these block parties. There's no objection from my colleagues. Enjoy the day. Hopefully you don't need the rain delay.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
So any comment from the audience? There is no comment from the audience. You're all set. You don't have to do anything further. You or somebody else will get something in the mail from the clerk's office, whatever address was on the initial application, saying that it's approved, okay?
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Good luck. Okay, item number 6 is a block party request from Allison Adams to be held on Saturday, August 6th, from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. on Flamingo Boulevard between Clarita and Pickford, with a rain date of Saturday, August 13, 2022. Good evening, ma'am. Your name, please?
Hi, I'm Allison Adams.
Okay, what are you going to do at this block party?
So we've held it once before, and we did, one of our neighbors works for a bounce house company, so she brought out a bounce house and some lawn games. Each of our neighbors had different dishes. We kind of had one station for like food, and everyone just brought it over there. So one of our neighbors mentioned doing food trucks, so we're looking into an ice cream truck and like a taco truck. Just getting to know new neighbors and old neighbors again.
Sounds good. Any motions?
Mr. President,
Mr. Donovic?
I'd like to offer an approving on consent if there's no objections from my colleagues. And you mentioned taco food trucks. I'll see you then, okay?
Sounds good. You have the date and the address.
I was going to make a joke because you said everybody brought a dish the first year, but now you're going with a food truck.
I mean,
So is
there's
there
never
anybody who's
too
a
much
problem in
food, right?
particular, or no?
No, like there's never too much food, right?
Sounds good. All right, any audience communication comment on that? There is none. You're all set. You don't have to do anything else. Something will come in the mail in about 3 weeks probably,
Okay,
okay?
thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. Good luck. And item number 7 is our last block, well, maybe not. It's a block party request as well from Rebecca Drzwicki to be held on Saturday, September 24, 2022, from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. on Park Lane between Clarita and Margarita, with a rain date of Saturday, October 1, 2022. I don't see Ms. Drzwicki here. Any motions from the council, Mr. McCullough?
I will offer an approving for regular because we know the Park Lane crew and we definitely want to figure out what's going on with that one for sure.
Okay, any comments from the audience? There is none, so that'll be approving on the regular. And we'll move on to item number 8, is a request to waive the city's noise ordinance from Petrese Newkirk in order to host a car show with a DJ in a parking lot located at 27488 Grand River on Saturday, September 3rd, 2022, from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. with a rain date of September 10, 2022. Good evening, ma'am. Your name, please?
Good evening, I'm Petrese Newkirk.
Okay, and what are the plans for the car show?
Just a gathering of a few car enthusiasts with a little music and food.
Okay, is this a business address or is
Yes,
this
it is, and I spoke with the property owner, and he's willing to let me use his lot for the event, one-time event.
Yeah.
There are no residents around it. It's bordering 8 Mile Grand River in Inkster. So
What business is it, just to give us a frame of reference?
it's called something tent. Wait a minute. Sorry. It's really mostly a lot, but it's Tent Masters is the name
Okay.
of it.
Okay,
Yeah, so it's pretty much mostly unused parking lot.
sounds good. Sounds like the perfect place for a car show, right?
Yes.
Any motions from the council?
Mr. President,
Mr. Donovan?
I'll offer an approving on consent if there's no objections from my colleagues.
Okay. And any audience communication comment on that? There's none, so you're gonna get something about 3 weeks in the mail.
Okay, thank you
Saying it's
all.
approved, nothing else is required. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Have a
Good
night.
luck. Okay, item 9 is a award of bid from the Department of Parks and Rec for the rental of a warming tent for the annual Night of Lights event at Greenmead Historical Park from budgeted funds. Mr. Davis, good evening.
Good evening. Thank you, Council President Jolly. Ted Davis representing Parks and Recreation. We're asking again for warming tent, award a bid for a warming tent with wall tents. This is our 3rd annual Night of Lights celebration we're gearing up for at Greenmead Historical Park. We're asking again that the council accept the bid from Wall Tent Option 1 for $18,037.05. I'm happy to answer any questions council might have on this item.
Any motions from the council?
I'll move approval.
We have an approving from Ms. McIntyre, Mr. Donovan.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd just like to note that I was at the warming tent last year, and it was really a great time. It was awesome what Parks Rec did with Greenmead, et cetera. A lot of fun. It's crazy to think we're already working on it now, and it'll be winter in a few months, and we'll be back in the warming tent. And for any of the residents out there, it is a great time. Friends and family, adults, a lot of fun, and it is warm in the warming tent. So get ready to get rid of some layers. Thank you, Mr. President.
Anybody else from the council?
After we vote on this, I'd like to ask Mr. Davis a question, if you're okay with that.
Sure. Any audience communication? Yeah, I was gonna, so that'll be on consent if there's no objection. Okay, you have an approving on consent.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ms. McIntyre?
Ted, thanks for
Yes.
being here tonight. How are we coming on the bidding for the actual lights at Greenmead?
That's a great question. We are still talking to vendors. We're going to see what prices we come back with quotes and see if we do need to put it out to bid.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Can I ask you?
Yeah.
Well, I'll ask you offline.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
Item number 10 is a request for authorization to purchase 3 FREEMOTION I-22.9 incline trainers coming to us from the Department of Parks and Rec for the Kirksey Recreation Center from budgeted funds. Mr. Davis?
Thank you, Councilman Jolly. This is again, bids were submitted to Mitten. We had one company bid on this project, Direct Fitness Solutions. We're asking that council award this to that vendor for $25,725. These are replacement of existing treadmills. Actually, you can tell the difference if you're in the rec center between, we do have several FREEMOTION treadmills already there. These are replacements of the old Star Trek ones, which you can tell the difference. I'm happy to answer any questions council might have on this item.
Any motions from the council?
Mr.
Mr.
President,
McCullough?
through the chair to Mr. Davis, this does have the little TV screen option that I'm looking at right now.
Yes, it does.
It's amazing. I have to say that I trust some of the new ellipticals and everything, knocking it out. You know, you're making me a faster person, and I appreciate that. And with this, it looks like it even goes higher on the incline.
does.
Just make sure the defibrillators are working. But I'd be happy to offer an approving on consent.
Thank you, Mr. McCullough.
I don't know whether to say thank you or not for that.
I don't know how fast he's getting, but I'm willing to race him any day of the week. Any comment from the audience? There's none, so we have an approving on consent for item number 10. Number 11 is a request to approve the holiday parade and tree lighting on Sunday, December 4, 2022, and request to approve the parade route and the closing of certain city streets, and to request permission from Wayne County to close Farmington Road from Linden to 5 Mile between the hours of 4 p.m. and 5 p.m., or until the road is returned to normal traffic operation, and to authorize Senior Police Officer Michael Arkelian to sign the road closure permit on behalf of the city, and that the city of Livonia will assume liability for any damage claims resulting from the road closure coming to us from the Department of Parks and Rec. Mr. Davis?
Thank you, Council President Jolly. Again, I do hate bringing two winter things when we just finished Spree yesterday, and we had fireworks and everything. But we are planning ahead. This is the same road closure request that we bring every year for the holiday parade. We're just asking again that you allow Michael Arkelian to reach out to Wayne County and request the road closure. Farmington Road is the big one, obviously, for the parade route. and this is going to occur on December 4th of this year. I'm happy to answer any questions council might have on this item.
Any motions from the council?
Mr. President,
Mr. Donovan?
this is a great event for the community. It's a Christmas parade, brings out of the Christmas cheer, and all are welcome. Looking forward to having it again. I'd like to offer an approving on consent if there's no objections from my colleagues.
Thank you very much. Any audience comments or communication? There appears to be none. You have an approving on consent. You're all
Thank you
set,
very
sir.
much.
Thank you. Item number 12 is a request for authorization to waive the sealed bid process and purchase from the sole source provider from the Department of Public Works for the purchase of a stormwater, water main, and sanitary manhole-related items in the amount not to exceed $125,000. Mr. Rushlow, can you tell us what this is about?
Yes, certainly. Good evening and thank you. As you stated, this is for different variety of manhole covers and hydrants, valves, and things that are purchased by the Water and Sewer Department for operation and maintenance of the water and sewer system. These are manufactured here locally in Michigan by EJ Incorporated. They're a sole supplier of those products to us. We did check pricing, which is consistent across the board for all communities using these same items. As with any other products that we've bought over the last year through 2022, we saw pretty significant cost increases, and the quotation here from EJ reflects that, an average increase above 30% over what we had seen last year for pricing of these products. So it's our recommendation from the department that council proceed to authorize purchases from EJ USA Inc. For these materials not to exceed $125,000 annually from funds already budgeted for this purpose.
Okay, any motions from the council?
I'll offer an approving on consent if there's no objection from my colleagues.
Okay.
No objection.
Any audience comments? There appears to be none. Item 12 is on the consent agenda. Thank you very much. Item number 30, excuse me. Item number 13 is a request for authorization to sell city-owned scattered site housing property acquired from the Federal Community Development Block Grant CDBG program from the Livonia Housing Commission for the sale of CDBG scattered site property at 11910 Cardwell to Brian and Heather Collinash for $165,000. Good evening.
Good evening. Brandy Isaacson from the Livonia Housing Commission, and I do have Heather and Brian Collinash with me today. And the property at 11910 Cardwell, we have owned since 1984. And one of the goals of our program is to increase housing stability and affordability. So over the next few years, we would like to sell our scattered sites to homeowners or potential homeowners. Heather and Brian are currently participants in our program. They meet the income eligibility requirements according to HUD, and they do qualify for an FHA 30-year mortgage. The appraised value was $165,000. They made an offer, we accepted. So we would like your approval to move forward to continue with closing and sale of the property.
Okay. Council?
It makes me very happy to offer an approving resolution on this for the consent agenda.
Thank you. Mr. President.
Mr. Donovan?
A question, the proceeds, where do they go? What fund do they go into?
They go back into program income to fund other community development programs. So annually, we get about $150,000 a year in grant money, and then we support the balance of that with program income.
Okay.
So it goes back into home improvements, minor home repairs, emergency repairs. It also helps us maintain the existing scattered sites that we have, as well as support transportation, mental health counseling, utility assistance, and hopefully at this upcoming year, business economic development support, so.
That's great. Well, welcome to Livonia, and good luck in your future new home. That's awesome.
It's great. It's great that the girls are here too. That's
Yes.
Yeah, they're excited.
all kinds of good
It's a
things
big-
happening tonight, huh?
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
One quick thing, have you guys, through the chair, have you guys you've been into this house or no?
We've seen the house. We
Okay.
are living right now in a CDBG community home in Livonia. We
Have you had Mamma Mia's yet? which is right down the street.
We grew up close by.
Okay.
So we've been to both Mamma Mia's.
Good.
And now we'll be walking down.
That's what I'm about to say. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Last question, Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
Have the girls picked which room they want yet, or?
Awesome. Well, you're all set. I think that's for consent, so nothing further required from us, but, you know, come bother us anytime, right?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, item number 14 is a vacating petition from the Planning Commission for petition 2022040301 submitted by Stonefield Engineering and Design on behalf of Haggerty Residential LLC to determine whether or not to vacate portions of an existing sanitary sewer easement at 19750 Haggerty Road, located on the east side of Haggerty Road between 7 Mile and 8 Mile Roads in the southwest quarter of Section 6. Is this you, Todd? Or Mark? I'm sorry.
Either one. It's really on behalf of Planning and Engineering and for the developer Haggerty Residential LLC. It's the vacating of or the elimination of a sanitary sewer easement as part of the Haggerty Center development on Haggerty Road. This easement is no longer needed following the construction of the new project. The sanitary line was relocated, so the old easement is no longer needed.
We'll come back at a later date with the revised, once it's vacated, the updated sewer easement when it was constructed. So just a housekeeping issue.
Okay. Any motions from the council on this?
I will offer an approving resolution for the consent agenda.
Okay, we have an approving for consent. Any audience communication? Appears to be none. I have a quick question in regards to this development. So there's the access road that runs behind Haggerty Square, between Haggerty Square and the existing Costco gas station, correct? There are still signs that say "Do not enter" from the Costco parking lot. And I think there's potentially gonna be an accident at some point, because there's two signs posted as you're facing, what would be south, going onto that access road that says "Do not enter." And there's also not any proper lane markings on there to determine whether there's one big lane or two separate lanes. Is that on our radar at all to correct?
I think that's considered private property, so it would have to be up to the developer or the person that owns the property, how they want to sign it or maintain it, kind of like Millennium Drive. You know, as you all know, we go to Costco and Middle Belt, where technically supposed to be 2 lanes, but we can't dictate to them how they're gonna stripe it. We can only make suggestions, but, you know, we can reach out to them and give information to make it more safe for the patrons in that location as best we can. But
Yeah,
again,
just-
if it's ultimately up to the property owner.
Okay, thank you, sir. Mr. Donovic?
Thank you, Mr. President. That begs the question. I know that we can dictate in terms of parking spots and the parking lanes, the lines have to be double-lined, right? So we can't dictate to the same extent for the roadways leading into their parking lots, even though it's private property regardless?
Yeah, it's a, you know, we have right-of-way easements, there's private property, so there's certain areas that we, you know, again, they have to own, or the development company taking over that property would have to address itself. But I'm sure we can reach out to them, Mark and I, and see what can be done. I know, again, once you get behind the Costco gas station and some of the locations there that, you know, it's private property, they have the gates going in to facilities, things of that nature, whatever, but we can obviously see what we can do to make it more safe and make suggestions.
Sounds good. Thank you very much. So that concludes our agenda for this evening. We'll go back to audience communication. Is there anybody from the audience who would like to address the council? There appears to be none. Any last closing council communication? There appears to be none. So I think we're safe to say that we're done for the night. Good evening, Livonia. Take care of yourselves.